how you can grow your business with artificial intelligence and ChatGPT. I'm Miranda Kay, developer, consultant, entrepreneur. Tell you a little bit about myself. I was one of the first people to have quality online video, one of the first online talk shows, and I've worked with big names in sports and entertainment. I piloted the first app development course at the University of Texas at Arlington, and I created the first iPhone app for the Dallas Video Fest. Now, as a child growing up, my siblings and I would create these productions and we would record them on cassette tape. And that's funny. And we would even make our own sound effects. I loved poetry, acting, and art. In fact, my character was Pamela Martin, and we would get into those characters and stay all day. I liked photography. My sister and I, we would go on these photo shoots. And in fact, picture you're looking at there on the screen is one that she took of me. And I think we spent a full day literally walking as far as we could with our camera and just snapping pictures. And as a young adult, I was a young parent. I started out going to school for the nursing profession, which I intended later to attend medical school after that to become a doctor. But instead, I ended up wanting to be a parent more than I wanted to go to medical school. So, and I don't regret that decision. And that's how I ended up in tech. I ended up switching my major in a little quick travel through my career. In 1993, I entered corporate America. And then I formed Let's Talk Productions as I was in corporate America, and I did it alongside, and I kept it going. And back and forth between there, I did have some other corporate experience. In 2005, I formed Rather Be T-shirts, where I'd rather be this, or I'd rather be fishing. I'd rather be doing something other than what I'm doing now. I formed that with a partner, and that was pretty fun. And in 2006, I formed and produced the Rhonda K Show. 2007, I created my first DVD project. There were no training courses. I created a graphic. I took one of my old DVDs and put my graphic in place of the cover for that movie. And I held on to it. I set it on my desk in front of my computer, and I would look at it every day. And 90 days later, the Visual Word Series DVD was born. It was produced and mass produced and in distribution. And this is a few video clips of me and various guests that I interviewed. In the upper left-hand corner is Michael Jenkins of the Dallas Summer Musicals. He's a two-time Tony Award winner, maybe more by now, because this was 2007, maybe 2008. And these are a few other guests that I interviewed. In fact, Michael Jenkins gave my show an endorsement telling people to watch it. He learned something all the time on it. And that's a little bit about me. Fast forward to today. Me and a colleague of mine, a business partner, we discovered ChatGPT and its usefulness, and we have been on ChatGPT and or doing something ChatGPT related ever since. Now, as many of you may know, ChatGPT announced itself publicly in the last quarter of 2022. And then around January, moving forward, it became more and more popular. People began to use it and it began to catch on. Now, artificial intelligence is not new. It is just now catching on. And what made it speed up exponentially was the release of ChatGPT, because it was released to the public. And the public is all of us who use it. We use ChatGPT so much that we decided to create a book called Prompt and Prosper with Artificial Intelligence and ChatGPT. Now, if you're on this call, you probably have already downloaded a free copy of the book that shows you and walks you through how you can be efficient with prompting and how to use it in your business. And in fact, companies everywhere are beginning to jump on board, even though some companies may have banned the use of ChatGPT for security reasons. And we'll get into a little bit of that as we go through, and I'll tell you how to get around and problem solve for that very reason. You are here today because maybe you're a business owner and you've heard a lot about it. Other people are using ChatGPT or some other form of artificial intelligence, and they are finding it very useful. And we will discuss how you, as a business owner, can leverage ChatGPT safely. If you're on this call, you may be an entrepreneur and you want to know how to become more efficient. Well, ChatGPT can do things like assist you with customer service issues. Honestly, ChatGPT can cover most any area that affects business. You may be on this call because you want to know how to use ChatGPT effectively in your career. Now, as I mentioned earlier, many business owners are banning ChatGPT because of the security risks that they fear. Companies fear security risks, meaning they fear that their private and sensitive information may get leaked. And then the government fears that people will use ChatGPT in unscrupulous ways, just as the thing that happened with the internet and with e-commerce and any technology that comes out. You saw what happened with crypto. So a lot of people got on that bandwagon and things happened with crypto, but it happens with every new technology that occurs. And that's only because in the beginning, there is no technology. Why are we here today? Well, we're going to talk about ChatGPT and the future of jobs. People think that ChatGPT is going to cause a lot of jobs to be lost. And it is true. However, ChatGPT will also create new jobs. We're here because we want to learn how AI can help us in our business and how we can get on board, because as David says, he's the co-author of this book. If you're not using ChatGPT, you're going to get left behind. We'll show you how not to get left behind. And if you're on this call today, you have an interest in prompt engineering. And what that is the ability to write instructions to a chatbot and produce favorable results. My promise is by the end of this presentation, you'll have the knowledge you need to write ChatGPT prompts and the next steps you need to continue to perfect your prompt writing skills, your newfound prompt writing skills. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to learn how to set up an account on OpenAI. Then we're going to get acquainted. I'll talk a little bit about the language and how you can get familiar with ChatGPT or artificial intelligence terms, and then what you can do. An example, I'll show you a couple examples that I've personally used. Then I will show you how to set up your prompt. And after that, I'll show you a couple of tips and tricks for using AI every day, because once you get on it, if you haven't used it yet, you'll probably start using it quite a bit, even for small things like generating ideas for parties or generating ideas for birthday gifts and things like that. And finally, I will tell you next steps, how you can keep up your ChatGPT or your newfound AI skills. Now, there are other artificial intelligence tools. Today, we're going to cover ChatGPT because it's quite popular. And at some point, in our videos, we are making videos on a regular basis with little tips and tricks that we're finding relative to artificial intelligence. And we'll even cover some of the other tools. So stay tuned and follow us on YouTube and social media for any of that. I'm going to cover real quickly one of the products that we've created, and it is called Leadsy, and you can find it at leadsy.net. It is a web and business platform for small businesses or entrepreneurs to quickly grow their online presence. If you want to know more about it, just go to it. There's no coding. In fact, you can try it for 30 days free. There's no obligation there. And we have different entry levels. In fact, you can, if you decide to sign up at some point, you can get a membership for $35 per month for a landing page, or $100 per month for the full platform, and you have access to all of the updates and everything. Or you could pay a one-time fee and have access indefinitely for as long as the platform lives for a one-time fee of $9.97. Now, let's get into why we're really here today. What is artificial intelligence? Well, it refers to the simulation of human intelligence in machines that are programmed to think and learn like humans. And ChatGPT is an application made using artificial intelligence. It is a language model developed by OpenAI, and it utilizes deep learning techniques to generate human-like responses to text-based prompts. Now, that's what ChatGPT does. You may have encountered technology that uses voice. In fact, I'm actually working on a technology like that. I built a tool, and I'll show it to you at some point. Just stay tuned, and I'll post a short video when I make it public for people to be able to view and play with a little bit. Well, I created a customer service bot where you can ask it questions about the business, and it gives you the answers and even places an order for you. That's some of the things that you can do with artificial intelligence if you're a business. A lot of times you may be short staffed, or you may not have enough staff, or you may have issues, and ChatGPT or artificial intelligence can solve some of those problems for you. Now, we won't cover the scope of that in this presentation, but we will cover how you can improve your ChatGPT. You can improve your customer service with ChatGPT. Now, what ways can ChatGPT help your business? Let's talk about that. You can use it in marketing and advertising. You can use it for things like crafting an email or social media or any other strategy that will help you with writing something that you have to send out. And it's very good. So we'll get into that. You can use it for research and competitive analysis. In fact, in the book that we wrote, we show you prompts to use that will get you results for competitive analysis. It'll help you analyze your competition. It'll help you put together your strategy. You can use it for financial management, things like creating your business statements, your financial projections, and more, all of which help making financial decisions easier for you. You can use it for HR and talent management. You can use it to help you create interview questions. You can use it to help you create documents. You can use it for other ideas to help strategize creating a friendly HR process, recruitment, or environment for your employees. I've even used ChatGPT for asking what types of interview questions should I ask for this specific job. You can use ChatGPT and HR also to craft questions for or to craft a job description. Tools and technology. It helps you know if you're using the right tools. You can compare businesses in your industries and find out what tools that are beneficial to your business. And here's the customer service area we talked about. You can have a great product, but without the right people in place, without the right training in place, your business will go down if customer service is poor. Well, our book also shows you how to leverage ChatGPT to improve your customer service. And I think that's a really key and critical element of your business. Is artificial intelligence and ChatGPT perfect? No, it is not. Just as you would a human being, if you have someone you hired, your HR department, and you are the owner, and they presented an employee performance plan, then you're going to review that. You're not just going to take their word, even though you trust them. You're going to look at it and make sure it is in line with what your company objectives are. And that's no different than what you would have to do with ChatGPT. Where a lot of people get in trouble is they take the information out of ChatGPT and they copy it and they paste it and they go, here's my business plan, or they create an article or they create a piece of content and they go, here's my ad, here's my blog article, and post it to their website. And people know that that is not something that they wrote. That is how you get in trouble using ChatGPT. So you'll want to proofread and modify. ChatGPT simply makes your life easier. It is not designed to do the work for you, although it can do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. I've even used it to create a web page. Let me see if I could bring that up. In the last presentation, I was able to show a page. In fact, I think I'm not going to do that for simplicity purposes, and I'll post a specific video showing a few of the things that I did with ChatGPT. Now, the future of artificial intelligence, it really depends on us. There's been a lot of debate about whether artificial intelligence will replace many jobs, and I've already stated I believe it will, but I also believe that it will create new jobs performed in different ways, much like when everyone started using cell phones and we no longer or we seldom see a landline where you have a telephone operator sitting in an office that will help you place a phone call, a collect phone call or a long distance phone call or anything like that. Those jobs have been phased out, and there are new jobs that are, say, customer service, for instance. A lot of customer service centers were developed after we no longer had telephone operators. Now, step one, to start using the ChatGPT interface, you're going to create your own OpenAI account. To do this, visit openai.com, and all you have to do is type openai.com in the address bar. You don't even have to do the HTTPS colon. It will automatically prepend that or add it to the front. For those of you who don't know, and I don't take for granted that people have been in technology for years, but if you don't know, you can type or visit a web page directly by going to the address bar, which is at the very top of the window, where it says, where you see the lock and where you see the HTTPS, that's the address bar. If you highlight that in your browser, your web browser, whether it's Chrome or Mozilla or Safari or Windows, type the website address and it will take you directly to the site. Most people find a website by doing a search and then they have to click on what they think is the right link. But the more direct approach is to type the address in the address bar and it will take you straight to the site. You will fill out your information and create your account. Now, with that said, I want to give you a very important tip, and you see it on the screen, and that is to never, ever, ever put personal information into the chat input box when writing a prompt. And the reason is because this is a public program. It is querying a public database of information, and it may or may not be keeping your information. One time I asked ChatGPT if it held information, and it said, no, it does not store my information. However, you want to err on the side of caution and to never put personal information. And what I mean by that, let me give you an example. You may be writing a business plan, or you may be doing some financial documents, and you need the structure of how that document should be written. Well, in place of putting, say, for instance, your EIN number, you would fill that in with XXX, XXX, all the 9 digits that make up your EIN number. You would do the same thing for, say, a social security number. For me, if I am creating a software piece of code, and the piece of code that I need assistance with has an API key or a password field associated with it, even if I'm testing, even if it's a test site, I will replace credential information or password information with dummy information. I would replace it with X, or let's say I don't want the website released, then I will replace the real website with mywebsite.com. And ChatGPT will understand it. It understands placeholder information. So in the book, if you haven't already downloaded it, I've placed a link in the chat for this webinar. You can download a free copy of the book. And if you want the 100 full prompts, you can feel free to download that. But immediately you'll get something out of the free 10 prompts that we offer. It'll get you going. Your screen will look like this once you've signed in. And we give you what we call the setup prompt. And that setup prompt includes your business name, your industry, the product that you're selling or the service, and you write a short description. Now, here's one of the tips and tricks that we talked about. ChatGPT has the ability, the chat bar that is, it has the ability to accept return breaks or new lines. And to do that, notice where I have a break and then you see the prompt, and then I typed in the prompt. Well, to get that, I hold my shift key down at the end of the line where I want the break and press return. And if I want another break, then I hold my shift key down again and press return again. So that's how you get line breaks to kind of break up the text that you're placing into ChatGPT. And I always try not to put too much information in the chat input so that it can process a little bit of information at a time, especially if you're using the free version. Now, I created this ebook based on the free version of ChatGPT. So it doesn't matter if you're using the paid or the free version, these prompts will still work for you. And additionally, you'll notice there are titles on the left bar on the black side. There's finance and money, and then there is one for market intel and competitive research. When you are in ChatGPT, it treats everything as a conversation. For instance, finance and money, that's one separate conversation. Then I started another conversation by clicking on the new chat button, and it creates the title for you automatically based on the question or the prompt that you ask. And if you don't like the title that it gave you, usually it'll give you a pretty good title, but if you don't like it, you can edit it. You can click on the little pencil and change the title of the conversation to something that makes sense to you and help you to become more organized. You can also share a conversation. It gives you a link, and you can also delete a conversation. So this is what your input window will look like. And it also gives you the ability to upgrade. And I've been able to get some great results without the paid version. So that is what I'm going to teach you on today. Now, here is a ChatGPT example I want to share with you. In fact, feel free to use this for yourself. I am a techie and I don't do a lot of social media. So I thought, well, I know technology. Why don't I get ChatGPT to create a prompt or to create a social media plan for 7 days? So the prompt I input is, can you create me a social media schedule of content for 1 week that displays what I should post for my business? That's the prompt. Then I had to give it context. So when you're giving these prompts, you want to give it context or some information that will help it to answer your question better. And so that's what I provided on the next line. I put a line break in. Remember, you hold your shift key down and press return or enter. And so I told ChatGPT I am a web developer who can integrate artificial intelligence into applications. I can provide training on technical subjects, blah, blah, blah. And you want to know what it said? And you can use this same format and do the same thing for yourself and create a social media strategy for your business. It gave me this answer. Now, the answer didn't look like this. I shortened it. It gave me more detail than what I'm showing here. And ChatGPT said, sure, here's a social media schedule for 1 week, highlighting different types of content appropriate for your business. Day 1, Monday. And then it said, promote your services and expertise. Day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And then it combined day 6 and 7. And it said, mix it up, show behind the scenes, pose a challenge, etc. And so I plan on using this to see what kind of results I get or how beneficial ChatGPT was in helping me to create a social media campaign. In fact, it was pretty helpful because now I can copy and paste the content that it gave me and I can create a meme. I can copy and paste the content and create ad content. Now, of course, I'm not going to write it verbatim. I'm going to rewrite it and use the essence of the idea that it gave me. Just like you would if you got your employees in a meeting and you say, hey, team, give me some ideas. And your team is going to come up with all these different ideas. You may even tell them to write an ad campaign and you'll take all of the ads and you'll use the ones that fit best. In fact, I even wanted to write some content for one of my websites and I asked ChatGPT to give me several article topics. And after I asked for those article topics, I selected the ones I was interested in and asked ChatGPT to write an article based on those topics. Of course, I had to give it more specific information in order to get articles produced in the manner that I wanted it written and in covering the information that I wanted it to cover. So that's the first example. Now, in the book, we have many examples and prompts that you can use, and we tell you how to make these prompts specific to your business. The name of our book, and we are promoting it on the Business Matters app, which is a business platform where businesses can promote their businesses for free. It's just like signing up for a Yellow Pages or a Yelp account, only better because we have an app that provides business information, and you can also use this to promote events and things of that nature. And so you can download the free copy at businessmatters.app. Not, don't put the in front of it, but it's just businessmatters.app. And so the name of the book, as you can see, is Prompt and Prosper with Artificial Intelligence and ChatGPT. We have a nice, colorful table of contents. Now, the book is available on the Business Matters app website as a download, or you can visit Amazon and it's available there. Only the whole book is not there. And as you can see from the table of contents, we have chapters on market research and competitive analysis, business strategy, marketing and advertising, sales and customer acquisition, finance, HR, customer service, technology and tools. And then we have some more basic business information. And be sure, if you're curious about the app, download it. It's free to download. In fact, as of this recording, the iOS version is being developed and it should be released any day now. Inside the book, we included colorful chapter dividers for every chapter. So for instance, chapter 1, if you have a printed version of the book, it looks really nice and it helps you to find each chapter easily. Now, the Amazon version of the book is slightly different, but it's still colorful. It still has images. And each one of these chapters have content behind them, additional content that provide context as to what the chapter is going to be out and what you're going to get out of that particular chapter. For instance, this is what the content will look like immediately following the chapter. And then once we get into the actual prompts, they look like this. They're numbered. Each chapter has 10 prompts, but in the free book, there's only 10 prompts. But the paid version of the book has 110 prompts, which has the 10 free prompts plus the additional 100 prompts that the book promises. And so it gives you a format where it introduces you to the prompt. It gives you the prompt, and then you just copy and paste the prompt from that gray bar and change the information inside to your information. And then it gives you a try it now challenge at the end of every page. It may say try it now. It may say challenge. There may be additional homework. And you can copy and paste these prompts right into the ChatGPT text input. But always be careful, this is another tip, to not press enter until you have completed your prompt. And that is because ChatGPT goes to work right away to give you an answer. What I would do is copy the prompt into a text or notepad, change the information, and then copy it into ChatGPT. But you don't have to do that. That's just me and my own way of how I would do it, just to kind of stay organized. And as you can see, this would be like the second prompt, and it lists the introduction, then the prompt, and try it now. And this is just another example of the colorful chapter headings in the front of each chapter. And this book is not written by marketing people. I am not a marketing person, but I have to market my business. I have to be able to market my business. We wanted to create this book from our perspective, being in the tech industry. So we know tech. We decided it's best for someone in tech to write a book in language that businesses and entrepreneurs can understand and not use a whole bunch of technical jargon. In fact, we include an appendix or a table of contents to introduce you to the terms relative to artificial intelligence and AI. And so we hope that you will enjoy, this book. What's the future of artificial intelligence? Well, as you read this book and our prompts we've provided, we believe you'll begin to come up with your own ideas for how AI can be used in your business. And in fact, some of you are going to venture to create new products as we have. And if you need help creating those products, we are capable of helping you to create, especially if you want to create a customer service type product to assist your clients online. And when this happens, you know what that is? This is us shaping the future together. I want to thank you for joining us and remind you that you can download a copy of the book for free at https businessmatters.app.
Prompt and prosper with ChatGPT and artificial intelligence. With ChatGPT prompt engineering, the possibilities are endless. You can write a book, create a recipe, build a website, write content, boost your sales, automate customer support, generate business ideas, draft emails, create social media posts, and so much more. Unleash your creativity while mastering the art of ChatGPT prompting with our free ebook of prompts to ignite your imagination. Introducing Prompt and Prosper with Artificial Intelligence and ChatGPT. Download your copy now, because if you're not using artificial intelligence, you're going to get left behind.